Yo, it's been a while. It seems my chaotic life and schedule isn't the only thing that's going absolutely crazy. The Jrpg community just absolutely lost their minds because almost all in one day, we just got banger after banger announcement. We need to go into all this craziness. Let's get into it. First of all, if you haven't seen any of the Persona related stuff, I'm not going to show it here because basically the employee who leaked it all on accident is getting his ass fired. So I'm going to talk about it all. I'll link some of it in the description so you guys could go see it, but it's pretty easy to see it on Twitter or anything else you type in Persona. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth got shown, Persona 3 Remake got leaked, Persona 5 Tactics got leaked, and then we have Final Fantasy 16 in 2 weeks. What in the... So yeah, let's start with Persona, as that is the most important to me, as you've probably seen on this channel. But an employee leaked the 2 trailers for Persona 5 Tactics and Persona 3 Remake on their Instagram way before the Xbox showcase. This was definitely not supposed to happen. They removed it shortly after, but of course the trailers are all over social media. Unfortunately, this was after I just streamed the Summer Games Fest, and I would have really loved to get my reaction to the Persona 3 Remake because that is one of my favorite games of all time. Definitely top 3, and I was so amazed with this trailer. I almost was crying, dancing, jumping around the place. It was actually crazy. First of all, let's get this first thing straight. No, these are not Xbox exclusive Persona games. They must have a contract to get it on Game Pass early, and they usually do this when they have that type of contract. The trailer will just say Xbox, but of course it is going to appear on other platforms. I'm pretty sure the physical version on other platforms already got leaked as well as of today. I'm glad to see how much love there is for this because I think it looks perfect. It's going to be hard to explain, but it looks exactly like original Persona 3, but remade. That might sound absolutely stupid because that's what it's supposed to be, but a lot of remakes start sliding into the reimagined territory. And with Persona 3, I just wanted it to be the same. I wanted them to show the same dark atmosphere, have the evokers pointed to their heads, you know, all the dark stuff that the OG had, and it looks exactly like it. All the stylized areas they had for the original damn near looks the same, just in the Persona 5 engine. It looks slightly lighter and a bit more, you know, upbeat because of that Persona 5 engine, but to me, it looks perfect. Like, I would actually recommend this to someone who has not played Persona 3 just from this first trailer. Now we have to wait for the actual game to release, but I have so many hopes now seeing this trailer, and it made me very happy. Someone who is a die-hard Persona 3 fan. I want to address 2 things. I know people are raging about no FES content and no FMC. Now, you don't know FES content isn't going to be in there. My honest theory is they're going to intertwine it like really naturally with the story. You're not going to have to click a separate section to do the answer. It'll just be there. And if not, I'm pretty sure it will be DLC. It's Atlas. They're always going to try to make some extra money, especially with what they did with Soul Hackers 2. I could already see it. $15 in the PSN store. You get to play HD the answer, but it's easier. Now, if you know me, you know I do not like Persona 3 Portable. I think the game is terrible. Just the way it's made, and it's honestly weird how they added a second protagonist after the fact. It makes more sense when the game releases with 2 separate protagonists, or in general, if they were to make a Persona 6 with a female protagonist, that makes a lot more sense than adding one after the fact. But I know a lot of people love Katone, so if she was in a DLC and you could replay the game, I honestly think that's perfect because the game comes as it originally was, and then all the extra content, portable and FES added, is all DLC. I don't know if it's going to be free or cost money. Honestly, I love Persona so much, none of that stuff really matters to me. I'm just happy to see this is a thing. So, you know, we'll see from there, but you guys don't know. You don't even know if MC or FES content is even in the base game. There's a chance it's still there, and the first trailer doesn't show it. So, you know, just keep your hopes up and give it a chance for sure if you've never played the game. I honestly think the only reason she's not going to be there is just because of money and time. It takes a lot of money and time to redo the entire game, the cutscenes and everything with a second protagonist. Now that it's in all the new assets and HD, I totally see why they just did the original, but DLC is totally not out of the picture. Overall though, let's get on to Persona 5 Tactics because I could talk about Persona 3 Remake all day, and I'd rather shove that hype down a little bit and wait for the game to actually release because it's coming early 2024. That's a little bit of a wait. What were they thinking with this Persona 5 Tactics art style? Now, okay, I know people love the Persona Q style. I know I'm like kind of one of the people out there who just doesn't like anything chibi, but I really do not like this art style. I think it's kind of ass, but I loved Persona 5 Strikers so much, and I will love to see anything Persona 5, to be honest. Yes, they're milking it a little bit, but I love the cast. I know the gameplay will be good. This time it's tactical strategy gameplay, like freaking Fire Emblem or something, which actually sounds really cool. I'm totally down for that. So hey, I'll take one more Persona 5 game before we see the cast go. I just wish they kept the Strikers, art style, like basically the same thing from Royal. Like, they should have just kept it going and made the trilogy of Persona 5. Why did they go with Chibi for the third game? But, oh well, I'm excited. So now we're going to get into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm going to give all my thoughts on that. And then there's actually a few indie titles that look fantastic. And then I'm going to give my plans and thoughts for Final Fantasy 16. So let's get on with it. One thing I noticed right away with the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer is they're trying to troll the audience so bad. There's numerous points where you see things that shouldn't be there, like the beginning, and they're all looking like they're dying. And then there's quotes at the end where I honestly think they're talking about another character, but they're showing a different character on screen. So it's crazy. So they walk out of Midgar, finally. Midgar smells. I want to go somewhere else. So I should mention I've not played the original. I'm not much of a giant Final Fantasy person, as crazy as that is for how much I love JRPGs, but I'm getting into it. But from the lore videos and all the big diehard fans I've seen from, this seems more like a sequel or a separate timeline. But regardless, for someone like me who's on the outside, I'm looking forward to the story because it's so damn interesting. And it's interesting watching the fan base brawl at each other and throw theories everywhere from the outside. And then the combat, I want to see the combat improve. Now, I know a lot of people love the first one, but I definitely think they could add some things in to help it, and it looks like they are here. In general, the whole trailer makes the game look huge, and spoiler alert, although I don't know why it would be because you've all definitely watched this trailer. I don't know why you'd be watching it here, but anyways, they said it's on 2 discs. That means it has to be huge because the first game had 2 discs, but the second one was a data disc, and they didn't mention anything of it. Right here, they're promoting it like they're like, hey, we got 2 discs, guys, like the old days, like they're promoting it. That's really damn cool. Now, will be annoying swapping the other disc in, but I don't even care. The game honestly looks huge, and one cool thing is I see Red 13 playable. You see Yuffie, and her gameplay was great in the DLC, so they have a lot going on here, and I honestly feel like the first game was literally just the setup, and this game is going to be huge. Like, the middle ground, explore everywhere. Again, I couldn't tell you what story point they would go to because I did not play OG Final Fantasy VII, but the vibes from this trailer get me a lot more excited than when I played in Midgar in the first game of Remake. A lot of the animations and everything look exactly the same, even the character models, which is expected. I mean, they looked fantastic in the first game, and I don't see why they would change them or anything, but there's definitely going to be some touch-ups once we actually get the game, but it looks really good. Some of the animations, though, look very samey, like even the run animations, and I just hope there's a few new things, but yeah, there's definitely going to be some extras, as this is like one of the first trailers with actual gameplay for it, so things are going to change. But the Sephiroth boss here looks absolutely wild. I can't wait to see Sephiroth and all the crazy stuff he's going to do in this game and where the story's going to go, because the first game actually captured me a lot with its story. I know a lot of people roast it, say it's Kingdom Hearts BS, but it was really fun for me. One of the few games where I actually like the story more than the gameplay, and that's why I like the game, but we'll get into that at a different day if you guys want that video. The next game I want to talk about is Eternights, and this game I've been watching for a while. Studio Side Games literally played Persona 3 through 5, quit their job because they thought it was so amazing, and they thought it had it in themselves to make their own type of game like that, and I just commend them. That is absolutely amazing, super cool story, and the game also looks amazing, the gameplay especially. So there's a lot of mini games and other side things you can do, and they're really putting emphasis on that, and I love things like that because kind of like the Yakuza games, it makes the world feel really alive, and I really enjoy that. So it's action combat, but then you have all the kind of Persona-like stuff that you would do on the side, and it seems like a bunch more mini games. So I am absolutely so excited for this game. Speaking of Yakuza and mini games, Yakuza Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, that's a crazy title, got announced, and all my Yakuza homies were super hyped, and I was actually really hyped because I'm actually a Yakuza fan now because I started playing through Yakuza 0. I'm almost finished with it, and like when Kiryu came up, I actually got goosebumps. I knew who he was, so that was super cool. I'm gonna get it. Obviously, I'm not gonna play it right away because I gotta play all the way to Yakuza 6 and 7 possibly before I play it, because I know it's like in the middle of that. But super cool to see some Yakuza announcement. And then, as you all know, at the end of the month, right around the corner, is Final Fantasy 16. So I'm nearly finished with my Yakuza 0 playthrough on my Twitch channel, and I'm basically going to do some post-game of that and other playthroughs I've done until Final Fantasy 16 drops, and I'm going to be streaming that day one on my Twitch channel. So if you want to see my reactions or playthrough to that, definitely make sure to go follow me on Twitch. It's going to be a very exciting time. Too many JRPGs coming out, and they're all like really, really good, even from indie up to AAA, AA, anything. It's all looking fantastic, and it's just like the best time to be a JRPG fan right now. So yeah, I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Please let me know in the comments all your hype. What do you think of each of these games? What are your opinions? Make sure to sub for everything JRPGs. I'm going to be doing a lot more content, especially because my schedule is freeing up a little bit. So yeah, thank you guys for bearing with me. You guys are the best. I will bring you guys some amazing content soon. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you later. Peace.